Liliane Henriette Charlotte Bettencourt née Schuler was born on the 21st of October 1922 and died on the 21st of September 2017. She was a French heiress, socialite and businesswoman. She was one of the principal shareholders of L'Oréal and, according to Forbes, the richest woman in the world at the time of her death, making her the 14th richest person in the world with a net worth of $44.3 billion as of the 2017 version of The World's Billionaires. Bettencourt was born in Paris, the only child of Louise Madeleine Bert née Donchot and Eugene Schuler, the founder of L'Oréal, one of the world's largest cosmetics and beauty companies. Her mother died when Liliane was 5 years old, and she formed a close bond with her father, who later married Liliane's British governess. At the age of 15 she joined her father's company as an apprentice, mixing cosmetics and labeling bottles of shampoo. In 1950, she married French politician André Bettencourt, who served as a cabinet minister in French governments of the 1960s and 1970s and rose to become deputy chairman of L'Oréal. Bettencourt had been a member of Le Cagoule, a violent French fascist pro-Nazi group that Liliane's father, a Nazi sympathizer, had funded and supported in the 1930s and which members were arrested in 1937. After the war, her husband, like other members of Le Cagoule, was given refuge at L'Oréal despite his politically inconvenient past. Eventually the Bettencourts settled in an Art Moderne mansion built in 1951 on Rue de la Border in Neuilly-sur-Seine, France. They had one daughter, Françoise, who was born on the 10th of July 1953. In 1957, Bettencourt inherited the L'Oréal fortune when her father died, becoming the principal shareholder. In 1963 the company went public, although Bettencourt continued to own a majority stake. In 1974, in fear that the company would get nationalized after the French elections, she exchanged almost half of her stake for a 3% stake in Nestlé SA. As of December 2012, Bettencourt owned 185,661,879, 30.5% of the outstanding shares of L'Oréal, of which 76,441,389, 12.56% shares are effectively held in trust for her daughter. The remainder is owned as follows: 178,381,021, 29.78% shares owned by Nestlé. 229,933,941, 37.76% shares are publicly held, and the remainder are held as treasury stock or in the company savings plan. The Bettencourt family and Nestlé act in concert pursuant to a shareholders' agreement. Bettencourt ended her board director tenure on the 13th of February 2012 and her grandson, Jean-Victor, was appointed as board director. Bettencourt's daughter and her daughter's husband, Jean-Pierre Myers, are also members of the board of directors. Bettencourt generally shunned media attention and granted few interviews. Since 2007 she faced intense media scrutiny and publicity over her relationship with François-Marie Bagné, the estrangement with her daughter Françoise and her alleged funding of conservative French politicians, including former French President Nicolas Sarkozy. In August 2012, she sold her private island, De Rose Island, to a Seychelles-registered conservation business linked to the Swiss Save Our Seas Foundation, for £60 million.